Hi everybody, my name is Ruechel and welcome to the PCS Journal, where we sit down and talk with folks within Pinellas County Schools about what they do, and we are talking about a very interesting program that we need you to help us with. Keosha Simmons joins us right now. Keosha, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're working within the school district. Tell me a little bit about yourself before we talk about the program.
Absolutely. So I've actually been with Pinellas County Schools for 11 years now.
Oh.
Started off as an elementary teacher. From there, did a little work with math and science instructional coach. I was an assistant principal for a charter school for a couple of years, and I joined the district with this initiative in November of last year.
Okay, tell me what initiative we're talking about.
Yes, so we are talking about Lunch Pals, and Lunch Pals is a lunchtime mentoring program, and our focus is with elementary and middle schools most. That's our focus primarily, and it's just a friend. You're serving as a friend to a student. You're just being there for them, and sometimes, you know, that's just what they need, the additional presence of a caring adult.
Now, I remember, because I've been around a long time,
Right.
I think it was way back in 1986 or 87.
Okay.
I know, hard to believe it was still on the air then, but that there was a program where one of the companies had mentors that came in. So
Right.
Lunch Pals is separate from that, correct?
Correct. So we partner with Pinellas County Schools, and Lunch Pals is actually founded by a gentleman by the name of Ron Diner. And Ron Diner worked for Raymond James Financial, so they are definitely our top supporters for this.
So they're one of your partners. So tell me
They
about,
are.
so when it started then, that he came to you with this idea, or how'd that work?
So he is the founder of the program. He
Yeah.
started at a school in St. Petersburg, excuse me, Mount Vernon Elementary.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, so Mount Vernon was in need of mentors. He
Right.
spoke with the principal to see what are some of the needs, what are the concerns of the school, and at that time she shared the need for mentors.
Now let's step back a little bit,
Sure.
because I always want to give people definitions. What's the definition of a mentor?
Right. So for what we classify a mentor as, because sometimes when you say a mentor, you can become a bit overwhelmed with that.
Well, sure, yeah.
So what we look for when we mention being a mentor, you're just a friend. You're a friend to a student. You're someone that's trustworthy. You're someone that is signing on to build an authentic relationship, someone that is a good listener. You're not judgmental and by any means. You're just there for the student.
I feel sorry for the school district in a lot of ways, and teachers in a lot of ways, because you're not only required to be teachers, but you're mental health counselors.
Sure.
You're, I don't like to use the word surrogate parent, but in some cases they are
Right.
viewed as that.
Right.
So I would think the role of a mentor, especially, and I know that a lot of young men grow up, and I know how important
Right.
in life a strong male mentor is for
Sure.
these students. So who can mentor? Is there a list of who's available, who can, who can't?
Anyone can be a mentor, and that's the beauty of it. We are always looking to build our partnerships with the community, with businesses and organizations within Pinellas County, and it's very simple. You sign up to attend a one-time workshop just to kind of go over the best practices of what we expect in Pinellas County when you become a mentor. The other part of that is becoming a registered volunteer with Pinellas County Schools.
Okay. Now, I have heard some concerns when people volunteer or they don't volunteer, as they say, I'm afraid if I start making the commitment, I may not be able to continue it, because a lot of the people that mentor obviously are business people who have job opportunities,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera.
So we do ask for consistency. We do require that you meet with the student once each week for 30 minutes during their lunchtime or during a non-academic time in their schedule. So, but things happen. You know, you may travel or you may fall ill.
Yeah.
And we just ask that you notify the school within a timely manner and let them know that you're unable to make it for that week. And you can always reschedule to show up another day during the week.
Because with some of these kids, my parents got divorced when I was 7, so
Okay.
I know that side of things.
Sure.
That sometimes they need a mentor because, well, for one thing, sometimes they've been let down.
Right.
Or they don't have a dad or a mom.
Correct.
And grandparents are in that process
Right.
of dealing with them. Have you got any stories that you can remember in particular of how mentoring really worked well for somebody?
Absolutely. I can share my story. I'm currently mentoring a student at Mount Vernon Elementary. And when I met her, I found out that she's being raised by her great-grandparents.
What?
Yes, right. So, you know, that was something. She was having a really bad day. I was visiting the campus for a totally different reason. But I saw this little girl crying, and I asked, you know, if she had a mentor, and they said she didn't. And so I asked if I could serve as her mentor. So we began meeting last February, and we've seen great strides. She's
Oh,
made a
great.
lot of strides. Academically, behaviorally, she has not had any issues this school year.
Yeah.
So that's what we look for. We look for building self-confidence in our students. We look for them to be encouraged by what we're instilling in them. We talk about setting goals, being goal-oriented. It's a wonderful opportunity for you to just take off your daily hat as a professional,
Yeah.
or as a community citizen, and just give back to a student.
And have a Pinellas County healthy lunch.
Right.
We know all about the healthy
Right.
initiative. We just talked with Dr. Grego about that.
Okay.
So in this process, then, do kids, they don't feel stigmatized like, oh, I need a mentor, or I'm given a mentor. And then how do you know which kids want a mentor, or
Sure.
are eligible for, or need a mentor?
So, whenever I am doing our mentor workshops, the question always comes up, how many mentors do you need? We have over 100,000 students in Pinellas County Schools.
Yeah.
And I feel that we need over 100,000 students.
Oh my gosh.
100,000 mentors.
Yeah, yeah.
Every student can benefit from a mentor. There's no requirement. Students will actually come up to us and say, I really would love to be placed with a mentor. I have parents that come up to me at the mentor workshops, and they really would like to have their parents, or their child rather,
Paired
to
with
be
somebody,
paired
yeah,
with
yeah.
a mentor. So there's no requirement. If the parents want more information, they just contact the school, family and community liaison, and they will add them to the list to be paired with a mentor.
So big safety nut here. Let's just talk about that. How do you make sure that these people that are coming as mentors, are they screened at all?
They
Just to make sure.
Yes, so we do. We go through, or they follow through our background screening process of Pinellas County Schools.
So how many do you have currently right now?
So we currently have 3,500 mentors in our district.
Okay.
With Lunch Pals, we currently have 1,500 mentors. Our goal for this year is to reach 2,000 students with a mentor.
A difference between the 3,500 and the 1,500 in terms of what services they're receiving, and then how
Right.
do you make sure that you're not duplicating, but you're providing enough mentors?
Right. So we have a variety of mentoring programs in Pinellas County Schools. Take Stock in Children is a scholarship that our students that are in the grades of 6th through 12th can receive. The requirements to receive that scholarship, you have to have a mentor.
Right.
We also have Big Brothers Big Sisters that we partner with. We have 5,000 role models and girlfriends, and those are group mentoring programs. So there are a variety. So within all of our mentoring programs, we have about 3,500 students being mentored.
Now, we are assuming that every mentor is really, they're very good at speaking and all those kind of things, but I can see that there are some people who just might say, well, I would like to be able to give to the student,
Sure.
but I don't know if my mentoring skills are really up to par, or can you might ask you, give me some guidelines about what are the kind of things I should talk about, like, gosh, I like your clothes, or
Right.
I mean, what?
So it's just a conversation. You want to make sure that you're providing questions. Allow them to share what they want to share when they're ready. We will provide you with a variety of resources when you sign up to become a mentor. I send out a newsletter every month with conversation starters that you can utilize. A lot of our schools have games and books and a lot of activities that are available for our mentors to utilize with their students.
Do you run into situations where the mentor may find out something that might be harmful to the child?
Right. And there are cases where that can
Rare, I'm
possibly
sure, but-
happen. It is very rare.
Yeah.
Personally, since I've been in this position, it's never come up.
Mm-hmm.
However, if there is a concern, we do talk with our mentors about making sure that they report that information to our 1-800-ABUSE number, and also to make sure that they notify our school staff.
And the mentoring during the lunch, I mean, you're in full view of everybody, so it's not like
Correct.
they're off in a room, off quietly in another room, or
Right.
not.
So we have family and community liaisons at every school, and whether they're sitting in the courtyard or they're sitting in the media center, they are supervised by a staff member in the school. They don't meet in the cafeteria because we want to make sure that that time is being utilized and they're not, yelling over all of the other
Oh, okay,
students.
so they do have an area, okay.
They do have an area that is supervised by school staff.
Yeah, it's interesting because the noise in a cafeteria is very similar to a 747 taking off.
Exactly.
I
very.
noticed that.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what age that they are.
No, it doesn't.
So getting back to then the age requirements, I would think there might be a lot of senior citizens that might be available for that kind of
That's
thing.
right.
Is there any preference to who you want?
No preference. We welcome anyone to sign up to become a mentor. We just ask that you can give us your time and we'll train you, we'll give you the skills, we'll provide you with resources of what's best to do when you're meeting with
now,
your
if I want a mentor, do I have any input into the process? Like to say, you know, I love dealing with junior high kids because they're the most difficult.
Right, absolutely.
And I need help with them. Aren't junior high kids the most difficult? I don't know.
I won't answer that question. But absolutely, you do have the opportunity to make a suggestion of what you would like, whether it's a grade level or if you would like to be with middle school or elementary. When you're filling out your application to become a registered volunteer, you can be specific.
Now, are they male to male, female to female?
So in most cases, we do try to pair them gender, with the same gender. However, we do get a lot more female mentors than male. So sometimes we have to pair our male students with female.
Yeah, but just having somebody to talk to is an important thing.
It's very important.
So this program is only going for 5 years. And I know you have these tremendous goals, but I also know that everybody is always concerned about numbers. So where would you said 100,000, but realistically, and where can we get the message out better? Because we'd like to think that everybody in the world watches our program, right? You all watch this and tell everybody else to watch it. But how else are we getting the message out about mentors?
So it's just sharing awareness. We are providing information on social media platforms. You can go to pcsb.org/mentor to learn more, and you can also go to lunchpals.org to learn more about mentoring opportunities. Now,
you mentioned social media,
yes.
so I've got to ask about that.
Okay.
Are there any restrictions on how that's used? Because I can see that in developing relationships, you know, a good solid mentoring, there might be some of that exchange back and forth. Is that allowed?
That is a great question. So no, we do ask that our mentors refrain from talking to the students outside of school campus. So meaning no contact via email or phone number or social media. So we do explain that as a part of our guidelines for mentoring.
And because each school, you said, has a coordinator, I'm just thinking of the logistics of this. Somebody who's a mentor goes, gosh, I can't make it today. What do I do now?
Just call the school up and let them know, or they can send an email if they know in time. If you know that you're traveling, we do like for you, and we suggest that you have the conversation with your student to let them know, I'm going out of town for a week or so, but I will meet with you as soon as I get back in town.
No gifts allowed?
Gifts are allowed occasionally, but we ask that you tie the gift to some type of goal that you all have set, and allow it to be an incentive.
Yeah, great idea. So this is the pitch, folks, right now. You want to know how to have an impact if you're older, you want to know how to have an impact, be a mentor. Reach out, get involved with these students. And I've always found that the more that you're around the students, the more that you understand what they're going through. Absolutely. And we're into the grandchildren cycle of things, so Grandpa is a good listener.
That's right. That's what it takes.
Give them to me after they're 6 months old, and I'm great. The first 6 months, I'm kind of there. But
I understand.
Anyway, if you want to be a mentor, please contact you. And when they make the phone call, who do they call?
They can call me. My name is Kiosha Simmons, or they can call Michelle Robert. She is our district volunteer coordinator.
Right. And like I tell everybody, if you don't know who to call, just call and ask the operator. They got great
That's
operators
right.
around
Absolutely.
here.
It's the Office of Strategic Partnerships.
Great. Kiosha, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
I might think about mentoring, too.
You should.
I have a little time in my hands, which may be coming up very soon. We're back with more of our program, so please stay with us.